Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stay tuned until the end for a special offer. Hello dear friends. Today's video should be an interesting one because I'm going to attempt to draw realistic human proportions for once. Emphasis on the attempt because I don't actually know how well I did. But as many of you may know, I typically like to stylize and exaggerate the facial features and anatomy of my portraits because I think my surreal fantasy themes are just better suited for a more alien-esque looking aesthetic. But I still think that doing studies in realism is a crucial part of the creative process in helping us strengthen our foundation skills. So today I will attempt to do such a study because it's been a while since I tried to render a realistic human face. Wish me luck! By the way, if you want to see a more thorough 30-minute tutorial of this drawing, along with step-by-step process photos and hundreds of hours of exclusive Patreon videos, check out patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. Even though I will probably stick with my exaggerated proportions for the bulk of my creative projects, sometimes I do feel a little stuck because I can only paint the subject from a limited set of camera angles and poses that are within my comfort zone. To be honest, I don't think I'm very confident in my ability to distort the facial features consistently in every possible angle, so I mostly just stick with the few popular or common angles that I've become accustomed to, primarily the 3/4 view. But if the subject is looking up or tilting her chin in a unique way, or if the camera angle is not at the same height as the subject pointing straight forward, that's when I get a little lost trying to fill in the blanks of how different perspectives and foreshortening should apply. That's why doing studies is so important, because by familiarizing myself with the rules by which realistic human facial features distort from different angles, I can more easily apply those rules to the exaggerated non-human features as well. So for example, if the subject is looking up and tilting her head towards the sky, usually that means the jaw will appear larger because it's now closer to the viewer, and the forehead will appear smaller because it's now tilting farther away from the viewer. So let's say that the forehead appears, 50% smaller when the subject tilts her head up. Then regardless if the subject has a normal-sized human forehead or an oversized, exaggerated alien forehead, they will both shrink by 50% of their initial size after the subject has tilted her head. I hope this long explanation makes some sense. Please let me know if my ramblings ever get too confusing or convoluted. But I think generally the gist is everything will change by the same rate and the same ratio, regardless of what type of proportions you start off with. On top of doing these realistic studies to improve my ability to render fantasy concepts, I also just enjoy doing these studies because it allows me to switch things up and try something different from my norm. I think this past year of physical and social isolation has made all of our days seem very repetitive and redundant, so it's nice to find any opportunity for adventure, for trying something new, even if it's just within the context of my art. After this study, I realized that I have a natural tendency to still drift back towards my more alien-esque proportions, probably due to muscle memory or something like that. But it was still fun to make art with a completely different goal in mind. I think I currently have a preference for non-realistic proportions because I was only doing realistic proportions for so long in my early art journey. And when I started to get bored of it, I experimented with something different. And now that the fantasy style has become my new norm, it feels refreshing and new again to revisit the more realistic approach. And I honestly look forward to doing more of these types of studies in the near future. Alrighty, that about wraps up today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and let me know if you're interested in seeing more of these realistic style art videos. And not surprisingly, my 20% off holiday sale is still going on because I guess I just want the holidays to last forever. So if you want 20% off of your order of prints, originals, or anything from my shop, just enter the code HOLIDAY at happyd-artist.com. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and even surprise art gift boxes. All available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. Thanks Squarespace for sponsoring this video and for supporting my channel and the art community. I've actually enjoyed using Squarespace for 4 years now to build and host my online shop and website. So whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and visit squarespace.com/happydartist for 10% off your first purchase. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist.